Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is, what is that? Today is still Sunday, November 23rd, 2025, back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanksgiving week. It's Thanksgiving Thursday. Thanksgiving week, short work week for those who have to work. Hopefully I will. I have to work tomorrow, the Lord will, and the creek don't rise. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you to all the members, the newest members, the older members. I think we're a month in, almost a month. Anyway, I want to get onto this topic. I was reading an article about Jasmine Crockett. And this ain't about politics. Before we, y'all say, man, I'm tired of hearing about politics. I want to hear about me too. I'm tired of politics, y'all. I'm tired of politics. This ain't about politics. It's about something totally different. But I'm starting off with this. I was watching Jasmine Crockett. Now, I was reading an article about Jasmine Crockett, which I done watched a lot of and heard her talk and speak. Not just heard other politicians of today. AOC, the President Lady, Ted Cruz, Trump. Just our best and our brightest supposed to be nowadays. Again, you'll see as we go further, this is not about politics. It's on a whole nother level. But I use politicians and politics as an example because these are supposed to be our smartest people, our brightest, our best, highly educated, went to some of the top universities, Harvard, Yale, you name it, Howard, top universities. Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. These are our leaders. Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States. Second highest office in the land. Dumber than a box of rocks. Educated, but still dumb nonetheless. If y'all want to equate education nowadays with being smart, you go right ahead. Then you just as dumb as they are. If you think being educated nowadays in our school system and our education system means you smart because you got an education, because you got a degree from one of these dumbass schools, you just as dumb as they are. And you ain't thinking straight. And as I look at these people, I know I'm not the only one can see this. This is not a Democrat-Republican bashing. Therefore, I'm choosing a side. They both full of idiots. And these are our leaders. We entrust to lead us. And I'm looking at them. Today, Jasmine Crockett, I read an article. She insulting Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene just resigned. She's going to be resigning in January. You know, Trump been talking about her. He mad at her, and she just can't take it, and she resigned. And these are our leaders. And here comes Jasmine Crockett. She insulting Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's insulting Trump. She's insulting this person. She's insulting that person. Marjorie Taylor Greene insulting this person. Ted Cruz insulting that person. Trump insulting them, and they insulting this, and they. Meanwhile, we out here looking around like, or at least I am. Is somebody going to tend to the economy? Jasmine. Somebody get this message to Jasmine Crockett if you happen to know her personally. Jasmine, I see you got Trump told off. I see you got Marjorie Taylor Greene put in her place. I see you. You getting them told. Go ahead, sister girl. I see you. You getting them told. But could you, would you, please let me know when you gonna start dealing with some of these issues we dealing with in this country? I ain't out here to play I don't want to hear you playing the dozens. We don't need our politicians janking, playing the dozens, mama jokes. You feel me? Miss Crockett, or any of her supporters, can y'all get this message to her and any other politician that's out here talking about each other? See, it ain't just jabbing Crockett only, but she just the loudest right now. They say the empty wagon make the most noise. She the loudest. She talking about everybody and their mama. One thing she ain't talking about is solution to these goddamn problems. When it comes to solutions, not just her, ain't none of them folk got no solution for what we dealing with. The people, us down here, ain't none of them. Have y'all noticed? Ain't none of them coming with no solutions. Jasmine Crockett up there janking. Talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, scared she can't take the heat, get out the kitchen and all that. Bitch! Where are the fucking policies? I'm sick of it. I'm tired. People out here want to take their own goddamn life because they can't take this shit no more. And you up there janking. Talking about each other. And again, I told her this ain't about politics, believe it or not. I'm going somewhere else with this. I led off with that. Y'all know I'll take y'all somewhere else real quick. But I had to start out with that to get the journey started, get it started. But here's the real problem. The problem ain't the dumbass politicians. It ain't Jasmine Crockett. It ain't Trump. It ain't Marjorie Taylor Greene. It ain't Biden. It ain't Tim Walz. It ain't Ted Cruz and the rest of them dumb sons of bitches. They're not the problem. The problem is us. How do we get so goddamn stupid, so dumb, to where we put them people in charge of us? They there because of us. There's somebody sitting around right now listening to Jasmine Crockett, listening to Tim Walz, listening to Kamala Harris, and saying to themselves, damn, they smart. They are brilliant. In order for you to think them people are brilliant, you know how dumb you got to be? Well, they don't get it because they're the dumb ones. They don't get it. Somebody like me on the outside looking in like, how did we get here? That's what this video is about. Believe it or not. The question is, how did we get here in our society to where we are so dumbed down as a society to where we think these people are smart? Somebody like me, from the old school, common sense and a little knowledge. Somebody like me, I know I'm not alone. I'm frustrated as hell. And I know anybody on my level, can relate to me. You frustrated too, looking at these people and saying, how in the F did we get here? How did we get so stupid? How did we become so dumb? To where we will look at these people, the majority of us, on either side, the Republicans looking at their dumbass people thinking, he's brilliant. Democrats looking at their dumbass people, they're brilliant. And they some complete imbeciles. How did we as a people become so dumb to where those people are smarter than us? To those people are people that we look up to and say they're brilliant. If you think an idiot is brilliant, what does that make you? So somebody sent me an email, told me to check out a movie called Idiocracy. It explains how we got here. Idiocracy. Check that out right now on Netflix. Spell idiot, IDIOCICRACY. It's called Idiocracy. Like democracy, but idiocracy. Idiot, Idiocracy. It's on Netflix. Check it out. And it starts out showing how the smart people are not reproducing as much as the dummies. It explains. It's a satire type movie, but it's so true. It explains everything. It goes from the present day, where we are now, and it shows how the idiots are the ones reproducing the most. It starts out showing how intelligent people who don't want to have kids that they can't afford, people that want to wait, get an education before they start a family, people that want to be married before they start a family, people that still believe in God, the people that still believe a woman is a woman and a man is a man and a woman and a man are supposed to be together. Those people they wasn't having kids because they wasn't ready. Things wasn't right. They were doing it the smart way. So the smart people wasn't reproducing as fast as the idiots. We see it today in our society. The people that can afford children the least are the ones having the most. The people with no education, dumb as hell, no income, no drive, no ambition, they having the most kids. That's what the movie is talking about, how we got here. The idiots and the dummies are reproducing the most. That's how we go from 40 years ago, where even if you had a high school education, you still was intelligent. Now we got people graduating high school can't read on a 6th grade level, and they still letting them graduate. They still graduating them. There's no children left behind, all that bullshit. Y'all remember? George Bush dumbass. George Bush dumb as a box of rocks. But somebody thought he was intelligent because that's how we got here. Idiocracy. It's just like evolution. There you go right there, evolution. The smart people were holding out on having families. So the smart people were not making babies. They knew they wasn't ready. They didn't want to have babies they can't afford to take care of. They didn't want to have babies while they trying to go to school and get an education to better their lives. So they held off on starting families. But guess who didn't? Pookie and Ray Ray, Tyrone, Keisha and them. They dropping babies like flies. Don't give a damn how they gonna take care of them. Didn't finish school the goddamn self. No education. And they steady dropping our babies. Hence, that's how we get here. The blind leading the blind. The dummies reproducing. Smart people not. So now we end up with more dummies than smart people. Because the smart what the saying go, the apple don't fall far from the tree. So if the tree rotten, the apple gonna be rotten. If the tree is poison, the apple gonna be poison. If the tree is defective, the apple gonna be defective. But if the tree is sound, good, healthy, 9 times out of 10, the fruit gonna be the same. We'll add that to people. When the people are poison, the people are the worst of the worst are the ones reproducing the most. And our best are not. That's how we end up in a society where we are right now, where the majority of people in our society are some complete idiots. To where we will and it's gonna get worse. We're getting dumber and dumber and dumber. I bullshit you not. Have you noticed it? If you haven't noticed that we're getting dumber and dumber and dumber, that's because you one of the dumb ones. And you fit right in. But if you're not an idiot, if you're not a dumbass, you an outcast. You don't fit in with this world. As a matter of fact, this world hates you. They despise you. You think you know everything. No, I'm just not an idiot like you. Can you relate? You're a person with some intelligence. You're an outcast. These dumb motherfuckers don't like you. They call you out your name. You sitting around looking at this stuff. Like, man, that don't make no sense. Trump is better than Kamala. You a bootlicking Uncle Tom. I'm like, don't you see? Not saying Trump is so great. That's the point. We done got to a society. We done got so low, so dumb as a society to where you got to pick somebody or not vote at all. You're supposed to pick the best option. We done got so low as a society, well, like it or not, I saw it, it ain't what I wanted. Trump was the best option. So you know how far we have sunken to where Trump was our best option. I voted for the best option whether you like it or not. You might think he ain't no Einstein's goddamn self. I didn't say he was. I said, look who he was running against. Look who he was running against. Is my point. This is not saying Trump is Einstein. But he was running against Kamala. What the fuck? And the ones who didn't see that is the ones I'm talking about with this video. Who see Janet Crockett up there getting somebody told her, yeah, tell her, girl. And you can't pay your goddamn bills. You don't know how you're going to pay your rent. You about to lose your job and you done lost that son bitch and ain't nobody else hiring because the economy in the tank and you clapping because she getting somebody told, but you still can't find a job. It's what she's supposed to be there trying to fix. But as long as she getting somebody told, you happy. And somebody like me come along. I ain't by myself. We all around the country. We outcast. Black, white, especially black though in the black community. We outcast. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We outcast. We looking at our family members like, damn, they lost. They really believe that woman's smart. They really believe we ain't vote for her because she's a woman. We ain't ready for a woman and she black and it's the misogyny. They really believe that. And you sitting there looking like, God damn, this is my family. I come from this bloodline right here. These my friends. This is my race. And they ain't no smarter than that. It's evolution. Only the dummies, the ones who shouldn't be having no kids, the ones who ain't ready to have no kids, financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. We looking at thugs having kids. Guess what their kids gonna be? Thugs. We looking at hoes having kids. Guess what their kids gonna be? Hoes. The smart people, the educated people, they know right now my money is funny, the economy bad. The smart people are holding out on having kids. When really we need them to be reproducing. But they're not going to reproduce because it's not the smart thing to do right now. But the dumbasses don't give a fuck. They're going to reproduce no matter what. They're going to get it in and drop out babies and then go down there and file for some food stamps or some shit. Halfway teaching the kids in the goddamn thing. Lo and behold, we end up like idiocracy. Explains it all. Idiocracy talks about 500 years into the future. And it's going to show you how dumb society has gotten 500 years from now. Go watch that movie to know full what I'm talking about. That's where we headed right now. We hauling ass to what the president is Terry Crews. He's a wrestler. Watch the movie. We have become a society, overall, they have dumbed us down. They have encouraged dumb people to reproduce. They have made it easy for the people that should not be having kids to have kids. And they the ones having kids the most. The people that we need to have children, they're not having them. because it ain't smart. And they do smart stuff. It's the dumbasses doing all the reproducing. That's how we end up with a Jasmine Crockett. That's how we end up with a Ted Cruz, a George Bush. A society where you can't define what a woman is. Well, a woman is a man, however you feel. That's how we end up with this society right here. A man, however you feel. You're a woman if you feel like one. You are a woman if you feel like a woman. It don't matter if your wood this goddamn long and balls this big. If you feel like a woman and you say you're a woman, you're a woman. If that's all you got to do, and Jasmine Crockett running around here talking about white supremacy and white folk got white privilege and white folk got it made and discrimination, if that's all you got to do is feel like how you feel, and y'all say my Uncle Tom sell out anyway, I think I'm going to start identifying. I'm a white man. I want some of that white privilege. If you can identify, if you feel like you're a woman, that make you a woman, even though you got a pipe down there this long, balls this big, but you feel like you're a woman, that makes you a woman, then I want some of that white privilege. So from here on out, and my people already done turned it back. They already took my black card. Remember I told y'all about they took my black card? So I already lost my black card. And we live in society today to what whatever you feel like you are. And since I'm in America and white folks got it made, white privilege and white supremacy, I want to be a part of that. I want some of that action. So from here on out, I'm white. I identify as a white man. Not just any white man, with them good old country southern boys. Jethro, one of them, at the deer camp. I'm going to get me a rubber flag, a Confederate flag. I'm one of them white boys. I identify as Jethro. I'm white. Why not? Can't beat them. Join them. If you can identify and whatever you feel like you are, I feel like I'm a white man. Might as well. Everybody else out here dumb as hell. Got it good. Bye.